interesting vibe with LeBron and former teammate Kyrie Irving because LeBron can't find the powder. He needs the pregame powder, right? We know the routine. He throws it up in the air. Comes in 45 points shy of Kobe Bryant for third all-time on the scoring list. We're not going to catch Kobe without the powder. I need the powder. Where's the powder? And no one would bring him the powder, so we're just going to handshake it up. Now, Lakers up 1, and the Nets decide to go zone, and LeBron was picking that apart. Oh, Dwight Howard. There you go. 14 for Dwight, 10 dimes for LeBron. Also 14 for Danny Green as the party of three. The three was key for the Lakers. They made 19 of them. It's tied for the second most in franchise history. Kyle Kuzma got one there. Lakers scored 1.64 points per possession against the net zone. That's tied for the most by any team in any game this season. But still, Lakers only up 5 at the break. So now about a minute left in the third quarter. Nets down 4. Kyrie's trying to get something going. No. Anthony Davis says no, demonstrates the no, and then even said no after the fact. And Kyrie's like, are we good? Yeah, we're all right. Later, Kyrie doubled.
Is that all he said?
Doubled. We're going to turn it over. Contavious Caldwell-Pope finding Jared Dudley. Transition 3 for Dudley. Now, Lakers, 7 transition threes. That's the most in a game this season. They were up 10 going to the fourth, and then it's LeBron backing down Kyrie. Okay. You want stats on Kyrie? How about the Nets are 5 and 11 with him and 13 and 14 without him? LeBron, 27, 12, and 10, 10th triple-double of the season. They win 128, 113, and then a former, you got a president. You got Bill Clinton there, and we're talking.
A lot happening in that highlight.
I want to know what's happening in that conversation. Meanwhile, here's what's happening with LeBron. 17 points shy of tying Kobe now for third most in NBA history. His next chance to get it and pass Kobe is Saturday in Philly, 8:30 Eastern on ABC.
So there were a lot of threes in that Nets-Lakers game. And you like threes, do you? Okay, I present the Mavericks and the Blazers. I also present an all-star starter and Luka Doncic and Damian Lillard. Is that supposed to be him? Because I'm freaked out by that. Career high 61 in his last game. And just picking up right where he left off. Shot clock winding down. Oh, let me just throw this up from 39 feet. All right. Furthest made field goal to open scoring for a team in any game since play-by-play tracking began back in 1996-97. Doncic, he threw up a 3. There's a lot of that same spot. It's not just a replay; it's just another play. Doncic had 16 points on 7 of 10 shooting, and Lillard had 14 points and 5 of 7 shooting in the first quarter. Doncic finished with 27, but Damian Lillard was able to add just a few more in the third. Blazers down big, but Lillard doing what he can to just be toddler style, all by myself. And again, the whole way downtown thing was a bit of a theme for Lillard. And then the very next possession, it's another one. 21 made threes for the Blazers. I mean, Lillard hit 3 threes as part of a 17-0 Blazers run. He finished with 8 made threes, so 47 points. And I'm going to do some quick math. It's 108 points for Lillard in the last 2 games. But one man does not a team make, and Kristaps Porzingis, little dunk there. Mavs up 12. And then remember how I said there were a lot of made threes in this game? Well, the Mavs made 22 of them. I mean, even Kristaps was getting into it. He had 16 points. Mavs go on to win 133-125. Back to more quick math, and a combined 43 made threes in that game. It's tied for the most in any game in NBA history. There have now been 10 games all time where both teams combined for 40.
She's excellent at that as well. LeBron, 21 points last night versus the Knicks. He is now 45 points shy of passing Kobe for third on the all-time scoring list. Lakers face the Nets tonight. Anthony Davis is questionable because it's the second night of a back-to-back. They're trying to be careful with him. Coach, do you think LeBron goes for the record tonight in Brooklyn against Kyrie Irving?
I could see him definitely going for it, and I just think it's pretty cool historically to see what he's doing in a Laker uniform, about to pass one of the great basketball players that ever wore that uniform.
He's doing it in Philly. It'll get done in Philly.
National television. ABC.
ABC.
Jump pregame
He is very, very tactical. And on top of it, Philly is a great basketball town, and they will show respect. The type of respect that's needed.
He averages 11 assists a game while he's doing this.
If you're a Kobe fan, how do you feel about him passing Kobe but in a Laker uniform?
You're furious. Kobe fans and Laker fans are two different monsters.
Kyrie Irving, as I mentioned, back tonight, sat out Monday with a tight hamstring. It does mean LeBron is going to go head-to-head with his former teammate. Look at their numbers, head-to-head. LeBron has the edge in every category, most importantly, of course, wins. Coach, what do you expect of your former pupil, LeBron, versus his former teammate, Kyrie Kyrie?
Oh, you know, you always get up for guys that you played with in the same uniform, and now he gets to go in there and try to rip his head off. But I think Kyrie is going to come out and really try to play well.
Yep.
I think
We're
Kyrie.
just trying to do like 6 people's jobs on the show.
Yeah,
right now.
look, Kyrie is going to obviously take the challenge, but Kyrie's one of those guys that he believes in a much bigger, broader thing, so he doesn't view this as him versus LeBron. He's going to go out there and try and play basketball where LeBron is doing what he's done for 217 years.
I know how competitive both these guys are.
Absolutely.
And I think that, you know, some of the head-to-head sort of just stuff that was going on between them dissolved last year, remember?
Yeah.
But I do think they still both want to show out against each other and play well and different reasons.
It's a big game for both teams from a record standpoint, too.
Big game, a lot of fun. All right, thank you to Coach Fizdale. Thank you to Richard for joining me today. Congratulations to all the McDonald's Today's opening tip, LeBron goes ISO mode in MSG last night. Richard, do you like to see LeBron toy with defenders like this?
Honestly, the old me would crack jokes about MSG and the Knicks, but the new me is just going to say that's a very tough shot and great defense by Taj Gibson.
How long is this new you going to last? Like 2 minutes?
Probably
3
about
minutes?
5 minutes, probably till this clip is over.
Good to know. Fizz and I need to, we just need to know what to plan
What
for,
we're dealing
Richard.
with here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
5 minutes.
The new Richard Jefferson. Welcome to The Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols, alongside our resident head coach, David Fizdale, and indeed the NBA champ, Richard Jefferson. Coming up in a few moments, we will announce the rosters for the 2020 McDonald's All-American Boys and Girls Games. There's a lot of high school hoopers, hopefully watching the show right now on the ESPN app. In class? No, maybe I shouldn't say that. But hey, we're here for you, and we won't make you wait too long. First, though, you know how on IG there's a guy who always races to put first on everyone's post? And yeah, it is pretty much always a guy. I don't know who started that or who thinks it's clever, but it's not like it only happens online. Everywhere you go, there is a rush to be the one who said it first, predicted it first, wrote it first. So it wasn't a surprise last night that when Zion Williamson made his long-awaited NBA debut, the evening was roundly declared a dud after he played just a few minutes of the first quarter. What do you mean that was his only shot attempt? What do you mean there were no dunks?
I turned it off.
Of course, in life and in basketball, what happens first is usually not the most interesting part, and it's certainly not always predictive. Richard Jefferson, sitting next to me, certainly knows what happened to anyone who declared the 2016 NBA Finals over off the Warriors' initial lead.
I see you, Stephen A.
Last night, the chorus of Zion naysayers had to eat their words too, because here is the fourth quarter. Watch Zion go up top over Jakob Poeltl to grab the rebound. Poeltl is 7'1". Zion is 6'6", and yet the height he gets and then the court vision as he races down the floor to thread that pass to Étoile Moore. And after that, well, the dam burst. Zion's flood of scoring started with San Antonio giving him all the room at the three-point line. Thank you. Then this lob from Lonzo. Thank you. Then another three. And hey, Spurs, might want to tighten up that cushion just a little bit. Here is a putback Zion fights for. Very impressive. Then another three out here. And this is when absolute bedlam was breaking out in the arena.
NBA season has started.
Meanwhile, though, twice during that stretch, you might not have noticed it, but the Pelicans actually sent players to the scorer's table to check Zion out of the game. First Nicolo Melli, then Derek Favors. Both guys eventually just came back to the bench, though.
Sit your tail down.
Coach Alvin Gentry was arguing at that point with the medical staff. See, the plan going into the game had been to give Zion short bursts of minutes in each quarter to avoid him getting fatigued, because fatigued muscles are more susceptible to injury. That's the science, but of course there is science, and then there is an absolute hot streak, and that is what Zion was on. So according to our Mark Spears, Gentry actually bargained with the athletic trainers for just a little bit of extra time. He got it, which is how we got this.
Zion, Aldridge, CC. Otro triple, 4 de 4. Zion Williams. No. Zion. No. Zion. Welcome to the NBA.
Oh, welcome to the NBA, Zion Williamson. And as you can see there, the ripple effect of what he did last night wasn't just felt around the NBA, it was felt around the world. You know, Zion only took 4 threes the entire preseason, only made one of those. But he said during his injury layoff, there were a lot of days when all he was allowed to do was spot up shoot. And hey, I guess practice makes perfect. And certainly at that point in the game, with Zion 4-4 from 3 and having given the Pels the lead, there was a push to leave him in. But finally, at the timeout, Gentry delivered the news to Zion he was done. And again, according to Spears, Zion argued, saying, quote, "Coach, I can win the game for this team." He apparently still felt that way on the podium later. Here he was to the media.
It's very hard. You know, I'm 19, honestly. In that moment, I'm not thinking about longevity. I'm thinking about winning that game. So it was very tough.
Could the Pelicans have won if Zion had stayed in? Maybe. Does it matter in game 45 of the regular season? I mean, if New Orleans misses the playoffs by just 1 game, sure, maybe.
No.
But the truth is that this isn't really the Pelicans, and Zion aren't playing for his first night as an NBA.